Iguru, Iboya, Ibucheche, everybody in Cyberland, the clear Babala, Omodun Dileke coming at you. This video, I want to discuss two things. One, what are you receiving when you receive your warriors in your Mano de Orula? Okay, your Mano de Orula, Awofaka for men, Ikofa for women. So far so good? Simple. And then the second piece of that is, how do you attend them? So hopefully this video is beneficial for each and every one of you. Alright, when we talk about warriors, right, we are talking about two pieces. You have an Ishuelewa, alright, which an Ishuelewa is going to look like, has a face, has eyes, nose, mouth, ears. It looks like something with a face, right? Because there's many different Ishuelewas. This particular one, depending on how you make it, is going to have a specific camino that's linked to you. Make sense? Okay, great. So when you're receiving your warriors, you're going to receive an Ishuelewa. Now, that's from a Babalao. If you are receiving an Elewa from a Santero, which they also give out, okay? They also give out warriors. They will give you something that is not resembling a face. It would just be a rock. Just a rock, okay? A rock of some sort will be your Elewa, the rock that walks with you. Doesn't have to be black, it could be any color, okay? There's the two differences. You have Ishuelewa, issued by a Babalao. Then you have a rock issued by a Santero. That's it. Santero, Santera do not give Ishuelewa, Babalao. Make sense? Good. Okay. Next we have Ogun Ochosi. Ogun Ochosi look exactly the same for Santero houses and Ifa. Okay, they consist of two rocks that are inside. They also consist with tools, fundamental tools that go inside of Ogun. So you will have some tools in here, and then you will have two rocks that are called otas. Alright? If you are receiving warriors from a Babalao, you should also be receiving an Osun. Osun kind of bounces between warriors and your Mano de Orula. That is why it's got to be a Babalao. This also takes a carga inside. Mi padre Osu. This is my Osu. Alright? Inside there's a carga. Inside your Ishuelewa there's a carga. Okay? There are special things that have to be done and consecrated. Right? So that covers the warriors. Then you have what's called your Mano de Orula. Right? Awofaka, Ikofa, like we spoke about earlier. This is a wooden vase. Sopera, you want to put things in. In this sopera, depending if you're a guy or a girl, differs. And it even goes even deeper, depending on certain things that a Babalao has to do in any ida to figure out what exactly is important in here. Okay? In here is inquines, and also a rock, an ota. Super important because those are the fundamental things that these elements will take. Hopefully that explains what you're receiving when you receive them. Make sense? Okay. For training purposes, I have what's called inquines. Okay, these are not Ian, these are normal inquines. Right? And a rock to represent Orula. When you receive your Mano de Orula, again inside that wooden vase, you're going to have inquines and you're going to have a rock. Those are two important things, okay? Where things begin to vary is understanding what your sign is. Typically, and I say typically, should be a little wooden plank, a small wooden piece of wood that has your sign, and on the flip side, it should give me your guardian. And In some houses, they'll even write Ide or Solvo and what it was, because those things are important to identify you. Because you went through a ceremony, but in order to understand what that ceremony is and other babalaos to help you, they're going to need to know what your signs are and stuff like that. Again, I say that because a lot of God children sometimes fall apart, right? And they grow distant from their godparents, or maybe there was a fallout, or maybe that person was not designed to stay in that land and had to move on because that's what destiny called for. So that having that tablet in there is very important. So far we're tracking, I hope. Okay? Some people also put Ache de Orula. When the Babalao's going Itifa, and he's marking the signs and he's grabbing, there's that powder. That's called Ache. That Ache, put a little bit in there, because it's what birthed you and gave you your spiritual journey. Okay? Hopefully we're tracking so far. So just so I'm clear, a Babalao issues you Ishu Elewa, and Ogun pot with 2 rocks and tools inside of them to represent Ogun Ochosi, and Osun. When you receive your Mano Orula, this is where Osun is very important to have. This is the reason why you get it with your warriors, and sometimes they only give it to you when you receive your Mano Orula, because they live together. Okay? Then you get your Orula, your wooden vase with Inquines. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 19, sometimes 21. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to you. Those are Babalao expertise and technicalities that they have to figure out. Okay? And then you're going to have Orula who lives in there, a wooden plank, some Ache de Orula possibly. Those are your fundamental tools. Make sense? Okay. So now, let's say you went through this ceremony and all these things are eaten and they're ready to go. Now you're told to attend them. How do we attend them, you say? Well, that's great, because I want to bring some fundamental ingredients that are important for all practitioners. All practitioners, okay? When you talk about the faith, the Afro-Cubano, la Regla de Ifa, la Regla de Osha, you need them in your house. You got to have them. Eyareku, which is toasted fish, and Hudia, which is like a rodent, a special rodent. And what happens is, those rodents are guts, the fishes are toasted, and they do it to a point where they get it to a powder. All right, so it's smoked fish and smoked rodent, but it's a special rodent, and it's grounded up. In my mixture here, I happen to have both of them together. So I also have other ones that are separate, but just for all intents and purposes, that's what I got, okay? You're also going to need what's called ori, which is cocoa butter. Okay, cocoa butter. You're going to need some oni, honey, epo, manteca corojo, palm oil. Okay? You're also going to need some aguado, which is toasted corn. Okay, toasted corn. You're also going to need efum, which is cacarilla, okay? Crushed up eggshells is cacarilla, okay? So it's also toasted to a point where it's powder and they make it into these little cups in the United States. In other places, doesn't look like that. It's gonna look a little harder. It's not as easy to powder up like I just did just now. And then you're gonna need a candle, a white candle. For everything I do, munatana, white candle, it's perfect. Atana fum fum, good. And then lastly, you need some aguardiente, okay? Oti. All right, aguardiente, rum. It's gotta be a light rum, light color, okay? There's some that are a lot more potent, and that's what, a true aguardiente is, a super potent elixir, stronger than Bacardi rum, but a light rum is perfectly fine. Okay, now you have your ingredients. So now let's get to business, okay? I always tell people, no matter what, you're going to attend your warriors every week. This is 2020. The world is moving so fast. Technology is taking over. I mean, we're in cutting edge times. So your Mondays may not be very convenient for you. Your Monday might be what we call paperwork Monday, right? So you just kind of swamp, you get into house late, And I don't want you to do anything because you just have to. I need you to do things from the heart. And this faith, everything comes from Akokan, from your heart. Okay? So you pick the day that's convenient for you in the week. Okay? That's my perspective, and that's what I would tell my godchildren. Because there's a level of understanding and evolution that's required in this faith. Okay, now that we have that understood, and you understand you're going to do your warriors, and when I say your warriors, I'm only talking about, right now, your Ogumpa and your Ishuelewa. Or we got it from a Santero or Rock, right? Okay. Because Orula and Osha we'll talk about later. So, first things first, I want you to take a little bit of palm oil, right? Put a little bit in your hands, a little drop. Then I want you to open up the honey. I want you to put a little drop, okay? And then I want you to rub your hands together. Nice lather. It's a lather, right? And I want you to say aguleo, because aguleo is important because you're asking for permission. You're lifting a consecrated element, an energy that's here to help you and connected with you when you receive it. Aguleo is the proper respect. Aguleo mi padre Ishuelewa. And then with your hands, with that lather, you're going to rub it all around him. And you're going to get it nice and going, okay? Nice and going. Okay? A nice, light, cold, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. You don't have to go crazy and throw, half a bottle of Vepo and Oni. No. A nice lather, okay? Touch them, beautiful. Okay? Then you put them down. Then you go to Ogun or Chosi. And you do one at a time. Typically, in an Ogun pot, you have a bigger ota than in a smaller ota, right? So you got two otas, one's big and one's small. Typically, if you don't know, go to your godfather, ask your godfather which one's Ogun, which one's Ochosi. That's important to know later in the future when you need to do an order. Okay? So you grab one, because they live together, right? You grab the one, you will say this is Ogun, and you do the same thing, right? You got a little bit of, if you still got a little bit of a lather in your hands, then use the same, right? And you grab it and you say, aguleo, mi padre Ogun, and you grab them out of the pot. And you rub them real good, real nice lather, okay? The pot and the tools, you don't need to lather the whole thing. It's not necessary, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Then you go and you grab a chosi, and you say, aguleo, mi padre Ochosi, and you lather it up and you put it down, and boom. You got this out the way. Epo, Oni, done. So we put them in the corner, okay? Then, what you're going to do is, you're going to grab your Eyayeko, okay? It's a powder, all right? And you're going to sprinkle. Sprinkle a little bit there. Sprinkle a little bit on top of your otas, or Ogun Ochosi. Okay. Aguleo mi padre. And you need to talk to them. Tell them what ingredients that you're putting on them so they're familiar. Get that bond and that love connection between your, the elements that have been consecrated for you and linked with your ori. Okay? So, Ishuelewa, mi padre, aquí te tengo un Epo, Oni, en tu nombre, pa salud, firmeza, tranquilidad, prosperidad. Because when you're asking your elements for things, you're not asking for, oh, I want this guy dead, or I want to win the lotto. No. They're going to tell you what you need, and they're going to help you open up the doors so you can fulfill your destiny. You can be successful in prosperity, love, tranquility, and health. I promise you that. So let's use them the right way. Okay? Brujeria is going to come. Brujeria is part of the faith. But right now, you're just attending them, you're opening up. All right? And brujeria is not always necessary. It really truly isn't. Okay? If you do this right, all the doors open up, all the other bad stuff closes up, you're going to be perfect. You follow your Ila, you follow your God. Okay? So you talk to Ishuelewa, here's your Epo, your Oni, Ogun, Aguleo, mi padre Ogun, here's your Epo and Oni, Ochosi, Aguleo, mi padre Ochosi, here's your Oni and your Epo, and poop, done. Here's your Eyaeku, here's your Eyaeku, which we talked about, right? Okay, now we're pretty much done. At this point, me personally, for Ogun, I don't mess with him any further until time for the OP. I take some Awado. Right, like I told you guys before. This is just toasted, grab some corn, toast it up in the oven, put it in a big caldero, a big pot outside under a burner, and let it toast up real nice, okay? And you're gonna take a little bit, and you're gonna say, mi padre hizo el agua, aquí tú tienes tu aguado, and you put it in. Whoop. Okay, now we got that squared away. That is your typical attendance, okay, for the ingredients, which leaves you with just one last thing. We'll eat. Here's where you open it up. You take a little bit in your mouth. You notice what I did? 3 times. Right, left, right. And you tell them right before you do it. Mi padre hizo el agua, mi padre ogo enchose, aquí tú tienes tu oti. Here you have your oti. And you blow 1, 2, 3. You're going to spray them, okay? If you're not very good at spraying, and maybe you need some practice, it's okay. It's okay if you take a jícara, okay? Take a jícara, because you always want to, again, you want to treat them with love and respect. You put a little bit in the jícara, and you tell them, mi padre hizo el agua, aquí tú tienes tu oti. Mi padre ogo enchose, aquí tú tienes tu oti. And that's it, okay? You grab a candle. Boop. Light it up. Wanimoso, awoy kuku, awo tanama fumache. Boom. Light it up. Alright? It's that simple. That's simple. And that's your attendance. But stay there and focus and concentrate and open up your heart so that they can open up everything for you. Hopefully that makes sense so far. Okay. I tell everybody, you follow your house rules. Your ile, your gafa, okay? And how you attend your orula. However, I'll give you some fundamentals, okay? Aguleo mi padre osu. Osu, this is my osu, okay? I love my osu, okay? Aguleo mi padre. All right. This is a very pure element of the head. Tranquility, priori. Okay, that's why they tell you the little bells here to alert you when things are not right? If it flips over, call your godfather. You got to figure out what is going on. Something might be off, all right? Makes sense? This is your head. So, we want to use pure elements. And that's where the efun, cacarilla, the crushed up eggshells. And then you got cocoa butter, okay? My cocoa butter's in here because I threw a bunch in there and they melt in the sun. I do a lot of work. But you take a little bit of cocoa butter and you're going to rub this, okay? All around. Oso. And you say, Oso, mi padre, aquí está tu hijo. Aguleo, entregándote ori. Talk to him. Aguleo, mi padre, Oso. Aguleo, Oso. I'm here giving you cocoa butter to refresh you. Okay, so you can open up the doors for love, prosperity, tranquility, and health. Right? Okay, once you get that going, and you're good on that, all right, the next thing you can put on your Oso, it's just gonna be a little bit of, you can put a little bit of honey. Okay, I've seen other houses do honey, all right? A little drop on your finger, put a little bit of honey to sweeten it up, right? But the most important piece, and I'm gonna tell you the most important piece, is the cocoa butter and the efun. You don't wanna do the honey, don't do the honey, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. You're gonna take some of this efun, you're gonna sprinkle it around. You're gonna say, mi padre, Osu. Aguleo osu. Here I have your efun, cacarilla, so that you can continue to open up my life. All right, rub it in there, rub it in there. Okay? And in this faith, you want to do everything from left to right. Does that make sense? Left to right. Always goes to the right. And then, Osun is done. Then you return Osun back to his place next to Orula, somewhere high. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? Hopefully you've been told that. If not, now you know, right? Now you know. It's not to get mad. Because, there's signs. There's kung fu. We talk about, it's not the Aleo's fault. You know what I mean? If they don't know. But now that you know, now you have to execute and do things properly. Because the heart knows everything. Your Ori knows everything. Olodumare, God knows everything. So do it right. So now we got that squared away. Let's talk about Orula. Okay? Orula Same thing. Palm oil, honey, right? Nice little lather. And when you grab Orula, you always grab Orula in twos. If you only have one enkine, then you grab the rock and the enkine, right? So I have a rock and an enkine, but I always have two, okay? That's necessary, that's important, okay? While your hand is lathered, you know, so I can easily have the enkine here, and I can lather the rock, boom, put it back in there, right? Or if this is the only tools you have, then now you switch it up. You put the enkine there, and you still have the rock, and you're rubbing the rock and the enkine, and you're getting a nice glaze, okay, a nice glaze. And you put it back, and then you repeat it. For those who have multiple enkines, again, you always carry two, right? So I have one here and one here. And again, getting a nice glaze with the honey and the palm oil, right? The honey and the po. And then once I'm done, I switch it out again. I go like this. Boom, nice glaze. Then I put it back in his vase all together, right? But the enkines and the ota or rulas, the only thing that needs to be attended. All right, so let's talk about attendance when we talk about orula and osu. Orula and osu are not to be touched and messed with all the time. Maybe you do it once a month. That sounds perfect. What sounds even better is every 21 days. So every 3 weeks, you come out and you grab osu and orula and you give them a nice glaze and you let them rest. You can even do it every 3 months, and that's okay. As long as you do that initial glaze, you wait 3 months, you bring them back down, because orula and osu have a very important mission and should not be messed with constantly. Does that make sense? So hopefully this video was beneficial for everybody. Hopefully you have questions so I can learn what other iles are doing too. Because again, this is not a knock on anybody's ile. Maybe you don't do it this way. I would love to hear how you're doing it. You know, but some things are fundamental. Okay, so you know what I think might be law may not be law for some other iles. But fundamentally, we should all be doing everything the same. So if you have any questions, comments, please leave them. Shoot me an email. Ask for my email. I'll shoot it to you. laregla@gmail. The dots in between. la.regla.te.ifa@gmail. With that said, Iburu, Iboya, Ibucheche, Cyberland. Till next time.